welcome to another episode of More Than Dice. I'm Gonzo.
I'm John.
I'm not John.
John has the night up as we're going to be talking about Adepticon, so we invited Captain Mizzy to come and join us. Welcome to episode 211. We want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with us. So we're going to talk about Adepticon today and what we did and how we did it, and I'm going to be working on a model I picked up at Adepticon. But before we do that, we want to thank all of our sponsors. We want to thank Mini Masterworks for providing us a good discount code for you to shop by. If you click on the link, use More Than Dice MMW10, you'll get 10% off your entire order. Which you can get the paint shaker and all the other cool stuff. I bought a bunch of glass beads because I needed them for my Scale 75 stuff and just a bunch of great things. And Kathy's got one.
Look, I have one now. I just need to figure out where to put it on my table so that it's in arm's reach and still plugged in.
And not mess up your camera whenever it rotates and spins around. Yeah, I had to put mine on my big desk instead of my painting desk. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting all of our files and getting our podcast out to everybody, which we made a lot of good contacts with the podcast, and we may have some new people jumping on our banner to have their stuff put out. And we also want to thank, we are now a affiliate with Parabellum Games, and if you use our code More Than Dice, you will definitely get 10% off of everything you order from Parabellum War Games, which of course includes all the Conquest models, which I will be painting up some today. So you should see a link pop up. Go there and buy whatever you need. Like I said, you like dinosaurs, you like orcs, you like orcs riding dinosaurs. This
You
is
should
what you
definitely
can
go
get.
buy their shit.
Orcs riding dinosaurs. Best thing ever.
And their newest faction just came out, the Old Dominion, which is Undead Romans is the best way to put it. Type thing. So they look pretty interesting. I don't know the rules on them or anything, but looks pretty good. So, before we do anything, let's talk about our drink for the night. Kathy, what you drinking?
I have gin and tonic in front of me, but also I have jasmine tea.
Jasmine tea. Okay. Captain Mizzy, what are you drinking tonight?
So a concoction that I've made of my own in this nice Warfare Weekend tankard. I think I'm going to call it a sea shanty.
It's the same color as your hair.
It is, yes. So I've got some Captain Morgan white rum, and then some Doritos lime soda, and then blue curacao.
Okay. I am going back to my good old Scotch for the weekend. I got a little bit more Macallan special edition that I got left, so I'm going to be working on that for the rest of this week. Guys,
I could not imagine.
or not imagine me drinking Scotch, right?
Not at all.
Guys, please be safe out there. Please make sure that you're washing your hands, protecting yourself, so on and so forth. This is something we'll cover under the podcast once we get started. But please be safe. Please check out. Make sure you get your shots and all that stuff. And everything. I don't know of any shout outs this week off the top of my head. Anybody?
I
kept
know
track of nothing.
So I didn't keep track of it, but I do know that somebody who was like 33 years old passed away, and it made me scream and have a existence check.
I think it was a drummer of some sort or somebody. Ooh, Captain Mizzy's got the bouncing.
Drummer from the Foo Fighters is John.
Yes.
Yes, I couldn't remember what that was
Wow.
either. Captain Mizzy's got the bouncing.
Why are you making me bounce, Gonzo?
Taylor
God.
Hawkins.
Yeah, don't know why.
Oh, it's your turn for that.
Hey.
Yeah. I'll have to figure that out later. I'm not too worried about it. So, guys, please take care of yourself. Please get your shot. Please wash your hands, so on and so forth. From all of us to all of y'all, cheers.
Cheers.
Man.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to go
That's
switch
damn
over to
good.
the paint cam and go over here. Captain Maisie, I'll have to figure that out later. I'm not going to spend so much time doing that. So,
It's fine. I don't matter.
yeah, I know.
Fun.
So, hey, here was that orc that I painted up. The Rivenstone orc.
Oh, wow. I do like that red skin and the teal hair.
Yeah, it's actually really, it's much brighter on stream. It's a bit darker, but yeah, you get the.
Oh,
the
you
point.
have your contrast, or
I'd
not
actually-
your contrast. You have your saturation punched up a little bit.
I actually put it down, and it still is causing those issues. I don't know what the deal is. It either goes orange or bright red. I don't know what the deal is.
What we can do is post the Instagram link.
And you can post the
Yeah.
Instagram link, which is a little bit better.
Yes, give me just a second.
But like I says, if I can do red skin on something, I'm going to do red skin on something.
Yeah, I like that.
And boom. There you go. In the chat.
Instagram link.
So, which
That still looks good on the Instagram. I like that.
Yeah, the red still
skin,
came out really
teal
good.
Hair. Sure.
So all I got to do is I just need to do a dry brush on the dirt, sand, and then just touch up and it'll be finished.
Nice.
But other than that. So during Adepticon, I went product shopping quite a bit because I knew that there was going to be some cool things there. So I always wanted to pick up one of these. These are the Game Envy hobby holders where you can put like the little things on it.
Yeah, I had thought about getting those, but I didn't get those. But you know what I did get from Game Envy?
What'd you get from Game Envy?
I got. Well, you can't see it. Hold on, maybe you can. Let me just do the old switcheroo here. See, I've got the magic fingers thing in the bottom of my paint water. The little rubber. It has
Oh.
rubber nipples.
I didn't even see those.
Yeah.
I saw those. I was wondering what those were for.
They're like the magic fingers for your brushes. They make them happy.
Okay.
So yeah, I got that.
Happy little
I got a brush rest, which actually is keeping my brushes all in one place here. Looks like, even though I've piled things on top of them. So that's a good thing.
That's cool. I didn't even know that was there. I did pick up another thing from them, and because I couldn't pass it up because it was a damn good price, was their wet palette. This thing is legit something to take, especially to take on like Adepticon, because it'll hold your brushes. It'll, put everything, and it was cheap. And so I've been using this and testing it out. So I'm going to open it up because I haven't tested it out because I got new paints coming in. Or not new paints, but I put new paints on there. And got a little bit of wave. Still moist though. I'm not getting any drying on it.
That's normal, really.
Yeah. Nothing bad. Paint's still wet. Paint's still there. Most of the paint is what I use. I use that on that Rivenstone model. So that was one of the things I got. So far, I'm liking this little paint. I like it because it clamps down and seals a lot better than any other wet palette I've had. So I thought that was pretty good.
Oh yeah, mine doesn't seal at all. It just has a cover. And
It just has a cover.
it's, I mean, it keeps it moist. So.
Well, this one's definitely, I've had, wet palettes dry out pretty well after a few days or whatever, but this one's definitely, I could see taking this like to Adepticon. It's small enough and can hold a lot of different things because like I says, you put brushes here, or whatever else, and you could put it in here. and it'd be pretty good. I thought this was a pretty good idea. And it was only $35. So, I mean...
I will also tell you that it fits perfectly in one of those hobby go bags.
I would have to make the suggestion of putting a strip of blue tack across where you're going to have your brushes. Otherwise, when it gets jostled, the tips of your brushes, if you don't have the little brush condoms on them, are just going to slam into the sides.
Yeah, I could see that.
So I always just put a little strip of blue tack across, and then all the brush handles get stuck in one place so they don't slide back and forth.
Yep. So I bought 2 of their paint handles, which I'm going to be working on this model. This is the Assault Perceptor. I've actually kind of started on it. I primed it white, and then I did a contrast bone on it. And then I'm going to dry brush it because I did spend a lot of money on some brushes. But I don't want to skip anything.
It
because
looks gold. I thought you were going to say you were doing some kind of a gold on it.
No, it's going to be purple.
Huh.
And bone. But I did get this cool, awesome paint handle from Jacob Janssen.
I got cool, awesome paint handles from Jacob Janssen too.
This one is really cool because these little ridges he put this in a pine cone, so it's resin and a pine cone, and so it's got texture to it. You can feel the cool parts of it, so it makes it really easy to grip. I thought this was really cool.
Show you mine. This is my dinosaur head, but look at this. This is my stubby hobby holder.
Ooh.
Look at this crazy pink wood. And then this one, which is blue. And then this wood has a bit of a pink shift to it. There's all this pink stuff going on here.
He makes them very gorgeous. I mean, it's a little heavy, but I could definitely see using this for larger models. But this pine cone thing, when I picked it up, I was like, ooh, I like this pine cone because it has grippy and you can feel the pine cone on it, and it, has texture, so it's not slick. And I was like, yeah. This is the special edition model that Privateer Press brought out, the Blood Moon Vampire.
Okay.
It's for Warcaster, and so this guy is a vampire and got a really cool cloak. And then he looks like he's screaming at the moon or whatever you want to call it.
Screaming into the void.
Yeah.
Full of
screaming into the void because blood.
For the blood. But then I got this really cool model, which was my Splurge. And this was that model I was telling you about, Kathy. I don't know if you can see it because it's all kind of white. But I mean, look how creepy this thing is. One of his arms popped off and I have to re-glue it.
Yes.
I mean, this thing is super, super cool. The base comes off. I haven't glued it on there because I'll paint the base separate. But this thing is like super legit cool. Gonna be so creepy. So I clipped off the back of it, and I need to do some texture because I didn't like the stone that was coming off the back of it so much. And then I didn't put the banners on it because I was like, eh. But I just thought this model is
right, Legionnaires. Cool. It looks like a nightmare to transport unless you have it in one of those cases where you can blue tack the base to a surface and not have it wobble around.
Yeah, it's going to be a pain to transport. You're just going to put it in a big old open area because of all these arms. But it looks really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I put together also what everybody's calling the meat golems. Let me pull it. Meat golems. I showed you these. There's 3 of these guys, and they all have different weapons. But I think it's funny because they got a skull right here. Everybody's like, oh, that's their head. Like, no, their head's right here. And so when you look at it, it's kind of confusing. But these were really cool to put together. I can't wait to paint these guys. I got 3 of those.
My first impression of that was like wood and vines.
Oh, no, it's all going to be bone.
But yeah.
Because they're all vat grown. And then I put together my centaur models. Centaur cavalry models. 4-armed centaurs. I don't... The The torso and the head are not glued. They're just blue tacked in because it's going to be a pain in the butt to paint altogether. But these guys
That's
are
really neat.
Yeah, these guys they're one of the newest models they've got out. And I mean, these things are huge anyway. I mean, you take, the Privateer Press standard size model, just a little bit dwarfed by it. They're beefy.
Well, they're centaurs.
Yeah, well, most Conquest stuff is super beefy anyway. That's kind of like
It's a
their
larger
thing.
scale.
Yeah, much larger scale.
Even the humans are larger.
Oh yeah. But my big spend was some brushes, and y'all have been giving me shit about my dry brushes, so I went and picked up the Artis Opus ones, and this is what I'm going to use tonight because I haven't had a chance to use them. So I've been reading about how to use them and different things, and talked to the guy about using them, and so I'm going to use these tonight. Got to get the little thing out. Because I'm going to dry brush that bone armor type thing. That was my splurge.
And they have their own brush soap. I picked up this brush cleaner stuff. Hold on, let me switch my camera again. This is just how it's going to be today. I'm going to switch my camera.
Yeah.
Times, I think. Yeah. So brush balm, conditioner, brush balm, cleaner for all brush types. Works on acrylics, oils, watercolors, pigments, and inks. I haven't tried this yet. This is the Mini Masterworks brush cleaner. So I'm going to be giving that a try over the next few weeks as I paint. So
I know. He had a lot of those out for people to use in the Hobby Lounge.
Yeah. He came by and he donated. Excuse me. He donated a few stations for people to use, which is cool.
So, Captain Mizzy, this was your first time going to Adepticon. The stage is yours. Show us what you got. Tell us what you think.
Oh. Okay. Where do I begin? Besides, oh my god, I had so many hugs and so much awesome time with the people and getting to see everybody and be like putting names to faces and all that other stuff. But so, I took 2 classes. One was Yeji's Chibi class, which was very fun. Got to actually work on eyes and do a little bit of hair stuff. And then I took this one guy that nobody knows of, James Wapple, his basing class, and made 3 bases in there, which one of them I made for a model, very specifically a model that Gonzo painted or printed for me that I started to paint, and I was like, what am I going to do for a base? And, so I made this guy with a little rock thing and, pirate awesomeness. And then played around with some, like the glass and the snow and the mixing the things. Kathy knows the technical terms that I'm talking about here.
Oh, yeah. The crushed glass snow base.
Yeah. So I made these as well. And I really like how this looks like ice instead of just the snow and the ice. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but like right here.
Is that the, did you use the extra heavy gel gloss on any of that for like icicles?
Yes, I did. On this tree, I did. I put a little bit to make some tiny icicles right here. So, but yeah, it was super fun, very informative, and he was just like, play with it, have fun, you're here to do the things. Do the things. So that was really fun. And then I I got this T-shirt from Savage Sparrow Studios. It's really cute. It's got Cubone and Marowak from Lavender Town. I
I
highly recommend everybody go check out her stuff.
I
It
picked up
is
a T-shirt
super
from there
adorable.
too.
Yes, you did.
I,
However, I was looking on her website and I found one that I absolutely have to have, and it's a beholder, and it says "I only have eyes for you," and in all the eyes it's got little hearts, and it's super adorable. And I'm just like, oh my god,
Aw.
I have to have this. Why was this not at the convention? If it was, I missed it. But I'm like, I have to have this. So next time I have money, I'm getting it. And I really hope to see her again because yeah, all of her stuff is just super adorable and cute, and I need to give her all my money.
yeah, I picked up the Papa Nurgle Wants Hugs
Oh,
T-shirt.
I picked that one up at Gen Con a few years ago.
And then I picked up this Ogren medal, the aberration, I think. I don't know. Um, but I got to put him together. He's super white starting out. And you can see where I was being myself and broke one of his little blade things here. But again,
Uh-oh.
that's totally my fault. I can fix it. It is what it is. But Gonzo, being the super awesome person that he is, got this hobby holder for my birthday from Jacob Danson Studios as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's pretty too.
Um yes, it's very pretty. It's purple. What else? It was just all around it was a whole lot of fun. I was exhausted in all the best ways, and I'm going back as soon as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Um
So some of the things that we
yes.
did there is I actually did a demo of Ribbonstone and we got one of the models and I showed that model off. And I did post some pictures of, things that were going on because there's some they do the Siocast just and everything too. And so this was the first time working with the Siocast model. And so something came up and I showed all the mold lines and I don't know, Kathy, if you had your model or whatever that you got, the demo model you got from them
I have it here.
and stuff. I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but I know that my model had pretty bad mold lines. Were they fixable? Yes. But they were some pretty big mold lines. I had to shave them down with a knife. I couldn't use anything but the blade of the knife. I couldn't use the back of the knife like I'm used to, though. So that came down to using that instead. Captain Mizzy, what happened to your model?
So I got a different model than Gonzo did, and mine came with a little Bowie knife that is supposed to attach to the back here.
Mine did too.
And okay, so I was cleaning it like with just a little bit of lukewarm water, a little bit of soap, and I had it like right here in between my fingers, brushed it, and then all of a sudden it snapped. No idea how it snapped, but it snapped.
Huh.
So now I have a broken Bowie knife.
I'm sure it'll glue together.
Yes,
Be
it
fine.
will, as
That
long
was
as I
kind of
don't do
painful.
it. As long as I don't try to re-glue it at like 5:30 in the morning when I'm also trying to get ready for work, because that's a thing.
That is not a good. That's not the way you want to
That
be doing
that
hobby stuff.
no. Well, so like I I was working on it last night before I went to bed, but then I looked at the time and I was like, oh my god, I have to be at work at 6 a.m. What am I doing with my life? But then I was like, oh no, I've got some time this morning. It's fine. Yeah, next thing I know, it's 20 minutes later and I'm going to be late. I was not late, by the way, because I'm good like that. But, so yeah, I have a broken Bowie knife and I was just cleaning it. Gonzo, how much were the Artist Opus brush sets? Legionnaires wants to know.
I think this set was 82 for the 5 set.
There you go, Legionnaires. You're welcome.
I think. Don't quote me.
We will quote you and hold everything against you.
This was my
quote you
splurge.
so hard. So I got the Siocast sample model that they were giving away at their, because they had a booth there, to demonstrate, I guess, how their stuff works and everything. And I said I can show you this too. I'm gonna switch my camera over again. The way that this guy is on his sprue. So this is the sprue standing up straight, and the guy is at this weird angle because his ankles are totally, in the wrong position. Like his ankles are just completely distorted.
They have
his
a
ankles
genetic defect.
So, I would have to bend him like this, but of course, it doesn't stay that way. Do I run it under hot water or do the blow dryer or whatever, heat it up, blah, blah, blah. It's a pain in the ass. I shouldn't have to do that. Okay? I shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, there's a difference
between... And I
between...
said something to the guy about, the warping, and he was like, well, in fact, I think he understood what I was trying to say, and I'm not sure. But I think also what he was trying to tell me back, because English wasn't his first language, was that they took them out of the molds too fast. And all I could think was, if you're trying to drum up business by giving these samples to people as an example of what your product can do, pulling them out of the molds too fast because you're in a hurry is probably not the best way to go about it.
I thought about that because when you told me about it, I was like, why would you even show that model or give that model away?
Yeah, because now here I am sitting here thinking, that's not really a good thing. If my models are going to come out like this, I don't want my customers to have to deal with this.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with it if I'm buying this model. So, my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, there was...
I feel like...
Go ahead.
Oh. I just feel like if you're going to be handing out samples and advertising your product and pushing it to be better than the other material that everybody already uses, then you should put your best sample out there.
Yeah. To me, I would have ditched that model and said, nope, we're not showing that one. Even if we did, it was an accident. And that's the thing is, stuff happens.
Yeah. They were all like that. All the ones on the table were like that, though. So It wasn't like it was a one thing.
Oh, see, then, Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mo's Magic. I don't know.
Hello, Mo.
I don't know how much a Siocast model is, but I'm not paying $5 if I have to mess around with it with hot water or a heat gun or that stuff. And also, I've tried that on other models, and sometimes it works, but a lot of the times it doesn't work because a few days later, it's right back to where it was. It's right back to the weird misshapen mess that it was, So, yeah, heating things up doesn't always solve the problem.
No.
And so this is the only thing I have from them, and I don't know what their product is like now. I can't imagine that all of their stuff is like this. I would hope not.
And I have got some other pieces because they sent me a box of stuff, and I haven't had a chance to look through it too much because, like I said, because that's what Rivenstone is using is Siocast. So I don't know. I'm going to have to, I need to see more samples. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I need to see it in actual production because I talked to 2 people that are using it, Rivenstone, and then a friend of mine, metal oak casting, and he's still waiting for his machines. He's like, I'm still waiting for my machines.
I just want to know, well, and the reason why I took this sample home, even though it's, misshapen, is the details on it are incredible, and I want to see how it accepts primer and how it paints up, this material.
Supposedly, you don't even have to prime them.
So, I mean, people say that about regular plastic too, but you know what?
Yeah.
Still gonna
Supposedly, you
prime
don't
it.
have to prime it. That was one of their selling points, is you don't have to prime
Bones
these
also
models.
says that too, and yeah, no, not so much. Sorry, Reaper, but I've tried painting the bone stuff without primer.
Which, talking about Reaper, that was a kind of a disappointment at Adepticon.
I didn't even, you know what? I didn't even know they were supposed to be there. They never mentioned anything about it in their Discord. They never mentioned anything about it in their Facebook page.
Well,
So I
they
feel
were
like,
they were there. They were supposed to be there because they were on all the flyers. They were also on the vendor list and the vendor spot, because everybody was like, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, I need to pick up tons of D&D models.
yeah,
And
I started hearing about this only at the convention. That was the
yes,
first I heard about Reaper being there, which seemed odd to me.
yeah, supposedly they were supposed to be there, but they didn't show. And nobody knew that they weren't supposed to show until like much later, after everybody was asking questions. They're like, where's Reaper? Because I know people were like, I need to pick up brushes. I need to pick up D&D models. And Cav was there in its spot.
Well,
And
Cav is part of Reaper.
yeah, well, they didn't have, their Reaper bone stuff. So people were like, where's Reaper? And so they,
Yeah, Reaper and Cav are, I mean, Cav is,
part of
what do
them,
you,
I guess.
yeah.
Yeah. And so Cav was in their spot of, where they usually sell all their things. And I was like, well, okay.
And they had an area where you could sit and paint, didn't they?
Yeah, they had a paint and take. And then,
So
and
it just wasn't Reaper. Cav is Reaper. Cav is a Reaper product.
hmm.
It always has been, ever since the era of their paper catalogs.
I know a lot of people were just like, where are they? Where are they going? They're usually here. And from what I understand, they decided not to show because they were launching their Bone 6, I guess is what it is.
Bone 6 launched a few days ago.
Yeah.
So, and that's you know,
That's a major product for them. So
it's a mom and pop company. They need all hands on deck for something as huge as that. So
yeah.
I can understand that they didn't have time for, you know, I mean, just think how exhausted we were
Yeah.
coming back from there. And to
Yeah.
have to deal with running a Kickstarter, that would be insane.
Yeah. So they didn't show. There were a lot of people that were upset about it, but
I wouldn't hold it against them at
yeah.
all.
It was just weird. I think that was the big kicker. It was really weird not to have them there.
This looks now, as you're painting this with the bone
Mm-hmm.
color, is it supposed to? Is it yellower on screen or darker on screen?
Oh no, this is wow. This looks really different. It is
Hey, Gonzo.
actually what?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. This is actually no, it's not yellow at all. It's like a really dark brown. I'm using Agra. So I had the brown. Um, I primed it white. Used the skeletal bone,
Meow meow meow, Gonzo.
the contrast skeleton horde. Whatchamacallit? Contrast paint, and then dry brushed it up a little bit with some white, and now I'm doing a little bit of Agrath Earthshade just to give it a little bit more tone. Let me see if I can try to match it better because
Let's talk more meow.
I got my ears on. They're on. Hush. So let me see if I can try to get that color. Yeah, because it's not supposed to be yellow at all. Let me see.
just very. I guess your colors are just coming across on the camera as extra saturated.
Let me see if I can change that up. Because, no, yeah. Let me go to saturation.
Fine. I mean, they would look really cool like that too. That is definitely less saturated.
That's more how it is.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me try some brightness too. Or not brightness.
Contrast.
White balance.
Oh yeah, white balance. I can do it. Tell you one thing about white balance and phthalo colors. Phthalo green and white balance do not get along. There's something about that green where it either looks blue or it looks yellow green, but it doesn't look like that true blue green that a phthalo green actually is. Camera just can't pick it up. It just can't make that leap from blue to green and combine them. Can't figure out how to do it.
That's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no yellow in it. I pretty much did, like I said, I primed it white, did contrast skeletal horde, which is their bone, which turns out really well, and then dry brushed a little bit of ichor and then a little bit of white, or not ichor, Mojave white, and then some white on it just to get it a little bit more pop.
Pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
Give it a little bit more pop type thing. So I want to
Like contrast. Like warmth or light, the contrast between light and dark.
Light the contrast.
Okay.
Just to make the edges stand out a little bit more. So I want to do. So he's got like these little feathers along the edge right here of his little plates. I'm going to paint those black because there is. Oh, that model's way over there. They got a flying unit and like all their wings are black like crows. And so I was like, ooh, that'll just be kind of cool.
Okay. Oh, this is the thing I run into with hobby holders and being on camera. Is my hobby holder, my camera is centered for my hand, like what I'm holding. When I'm holding the hobby holder, then my model ends up way off up the top of the camera or something.
Yeah.
I have a time trying to get that dialed in. Doom Turkey says Legionnaires. Doom Turkey.
Doom
I don't know, but Doom Turkey sounds delicious. And I would like some mashed potatoes and cranberry sauce with that. Please.
Canned cranberry sauce?
No. I have to make my own cranberry sauce. I'm not John. I know John loves that can of sort of Jello cranberry sauce, the one where it's the shape of the can when you
Yep.
Oh, John says Doom Turkey only comes with canned cranberry sauce, and I feel like with a name called Doom Turkey, I would have to agree with you, John. It makes sense that it would be canned.
In this case, I am John because canned cranberry sauce. Yes.
See, I'm a canned cranberry sauce type person too.
Mashed potatoes that are lava hot. Oh, please tell me we have gravy as well, though.
Ugh.
Oh, yes.
Can there please be gravy with the Doom Turkey?
No gravy.
All the gravy, Gonzo.
No. Doom gravy? I think that's what it would be.
Doom gravy would be white gravy.
So, look at this thing I got at Adepticon, and for Tentacle Town, right? So it was Monster Fight Club. Monster Fight Club has this tentacle town thing, and they had these plushy tentacles, and it's like a puppet. It fits on your hand. I went back to get another one for my left hand. Well, I mean, I could wear this on either hand, but so that I could have one on both hands, so I could give people hugs with tentacles on both sides. They
Yes,
were
please.
already sold out of them
Oh, yeah.
the next day when I went back there. It was that fast.
I will say,
But
though,
I love my tentacle. Hey, Shaza.
you're
Dude,
crazy.
no, Shaz, it was Doom gravy. Doom, 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 gravy. This is what you hear. Also, with chunks of liver, says Legionnaires, so I feel like I hate you forever, my friend.
Yeah, we're gonna have to knock you for that one,
That's,
Legionnaire. Sorry.
yeah. Doom gravy for Doom turkey. Yeah. And I got these things, which I haven't even looked at yet because I was gonna look at them on my stream, but I never got around to it because you know how things go on streams. It gets crazy.
All the distraction.
So look, these are weird miniatures. So let's see what ones I ended up with here. Let us see what I ended up with.
Oh,
Shazza says that's even worse.
I got a weird miniature too in my grab bag.
I got a Rasputina. So now I have 2 Rasputinas because I think either you or John sent me a Rasputina.
Probably John.
I did, John. It's up here next to Victor, my dragon. Up you can't see where I'm pointing because I have the wrong camera on, but it's like on my shelf up there. So thank you very much for that, John. John gave me I thought the instruction thing for it was down here.
I got some alligator in mine.
Maybe
I was going to
it's
give it away in the
not.
podcast.
You got a what?
Got an alligator in my weird miniatures.
It's one of those night things. I don't remember what it's called. It's the Games Workshop. It looks like a small Titan. A small Titan.
Oh,
so
Adeptus
cute.
Titanicus?
It's a night something. I used to know the names of those, but I can't keep track. Okay, what's in my other one? Lazarus. Lazarus, of course. Duh. I don't know. This is a robot guy. He's like a construct, I guess. Huh. Anyways, he's a robot guy. John says Lazarus is awesome.
Let me see what I got. Hold on.
All right, I will file that away as an awesome thing. And Rasputina is one I've been wanting to paint too. So Mo says Lazarus is awesome too. Automatic grenade launcher with a bayonet. Okay, what's not to love about that? That will go into my box of things to paint, along with the Road Girl bust that I got from Journeyman Miniatures, because I couldn't afford the other things that I wanted, and then the other thing that I really wanted to spend money on, they were sold out of. And then I never went to their website to order it on the website because I was unconscious.
So my weird model was the Bayou Gator.
Bayou Gator? Oh, he's cute. Aww. Moses, I want that bust too. You can go to Journeyman Miniatures and order it off their website.
A lot of people got this. If you got the other, what was it called? If you got the premium bag, everybody got a God tier army.
See, that would have been really cool, but I left my God tier there because I literally could not fit anything else into my car.
Let's see what else we get.
Like,
not even on your lap?
No.
Oh.
I was driving. Jim had stuff stacked on his lap.
I got a tank, which I'll give away. Everybody got another Keyforge pack. Got a book. Kings of War book.
All right, Keyforge.
You also
John
got
says, I was disappointed. Dave said he tried to find Kathy for his taste of Malort and could not find you. Look, I saw them. I ran into them, and I thought the Malort was in the room, but apparently it was right behind me the whole time at Fort Wapple. And we were going to arrange a time to do that, but then everything was crazy, and everybody was doing, you know how it is. Oh, yes, the Victoria miniature. That was a really cool one. I got and I think you got this too. I think a bunch of people got the Rogue and Gambit.
Yeah, I got Rogue.
Yeah, he gave that to me.
Yeah, they gave away Rogue and Gambit, which is a brand new pack model, which I thought was strange.
Do you have Rogue and Gambit, John? Or
I gave mine to Mizzy.
Yes.
Because I already bought it.
Because I can send you this, John. I can send you this Rogue and Gambit. I'm happy to do that.
Here's that Griffin, the winged unit model, one of the models from it.
There you go, John. Merry Christmas. Happy birthday.
Hail boop. Hey, speaking of somebody else who was at Adepticon.
Woo woo.
We got to see. Then I got Creature Caster stuff.
I didn't get anything from Creature Caster this year.
I got little things because I played a demo of the Judgment game, the new Judgment game.
And what did you think of it?
And I enjoyed it. I thought it was super fun. There was somebody who came up next to me who had been familiar, and he also wanted a demo. So he was kind of telling me things that had been in the old version, and I was kind of half listening to that and half totally ignoring it because I don't want to confuse what I'm learning with something that no longer is playable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
all the
what's
models,
the point of that?
All the models are playable. It just they revised the rules and now it's played on a grid.
They revised the rules, so I don't need to learn rules that are no longer valid.
Correct.
Right?
Nope.
But I got the eyeball monster, but I got the one.
Where is it the one?
The one with the alien guys on top of it.
Oh, the where he's riding it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got the where supposedly the one that I have is where they're separate on the board, and then the one you have is when they're together and they're combined and they do something there.
So yeah, I'm excited because you're painting you painted the eyeball guy, but you're painting this guy standing here. Isn't that the one you were working on?
That was, yeah, before Adepticon.
With all the weird limbs.
Yep.
So I have that, and these are the weird limbs. And then it's hard it's just all in pieces. I wish I had thought of pulling up the website because I also got this crazy Nurgle fairy, this Nurgle lady. I don't know what she's called. You know what I'm talking about? She's like corpulent and full of pustules, and she has these fairy wings, and she's super Nurgly, and I love her. And it's going to be so much fun to paint. I feel like I should paint her at the same time as I paint that worm spat lady, the one with the 3 breasts.
That would be fun.
People keep asking, they're like, what do you mean? What do you mean this model has 3 breasts? I'm like, well, look at it.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious, Kathy.
Look, there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. How can you not see that? Do you not notice this? Well, when I paint it, it's definitely going to be noticeable. She's going to have the sexy sheer fabric because she wants to feel pretty.
Yes.
Oh, so pretty.
Empowerment.
And I got this from Jacob Jansen. Also, this plinth.
Oh, the plinth. His plinths are amazing.
Yeah. And so I said to Jacob, I need something, and he's never seen this model, right? I said, I need something eldritch that invokes the eldritch horror of Cthulhu as he lies sleeping in R'lyeh. in Rolia, the city of slime where it's night all the time. So he goes, and I just described, I'm like, I have this Cthulhu bust. I need an eldritch, a horrifying base of cosmic, I don't know, infinity, right? So he hands me this base, and I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect, because look at this.
Yes.
It's the same. He never saw this model. He had no idea. He just picked this base out, and he was like, well, I have a bunch of other ones. And I'm like, no, this one is perfect. My
looks good.
elder god will be so happy to make this his home. And this is like Rely incarnate. It's perfect. Oh, I also have this apparently in with my stuff. So let's
open
see
it.
what's in this. He just had all the stuff. Oh, this is Teddy. Oh, is this the Teddy? This is the Teddy that John sent me. That's why it was in with my stuff. John sent me Teddy. Yes.
Yes.
I just remembered that. It's like, why is this in with my Adepticons? That's why.
Well, so Malifaux was at Adepticon.
Yeah.
So
yes,
it does make logical sense that it would be in with your Adepticon stuff.
Yeah, but they didn't have this Teddy.
No, and what was interesting was walking around, that booth was pretty empty. A lot of people weren't demoing that game, which was interesting. There were still quite a few people at Adepticon, even though the attendance was lower than average. I think Cav, Malifaux, and there was like one or two other games, and like hardly anybody was demoing games. And I was like, people need to be demoing these games. I know that
a lot of people were looking to play demo games.
Yeah. I know that Conquest was packed 24/7. They had 4 demo tables, and those demo tables were running nonstop. They didn't have an empty demo table the entire time I was there. They were constantly. They sold out of almost all of their product because they partnered up with Elric's Hobby. Like they would demo at their area, but Elric's Hobby was selling their stuff, and they were almost sold out at Elric's Hobby of everything that they had. It was packed. They put on a really good show and had a lot of good people there, and they were really nice type thing. What else? Modifius was there. They had some demo tables going. And mostly it was for like one Fallout and like one Skyrim called the Arms demo table, I think.
I missed them there this year.
Yeah, and then
I played a demo of Arena Rex.
Yeah, Arena Rex was there.
That's a fun one, yeah.
So I did a demo of Arena Rex, which was really fun, and I'm getting maybe some models from Gonzo.
They have amazing models. I love the Arena Rex models.
Well, I was looking at all of them, and I was like, I don't really see any I like except for the 3 sisters. Go figure. So
the Gorgon sisters, the one that has like all the clothes that you can see through, and then Medusa and all that, and of course.
And then I also played a demo game of Judgment, and I'm really excited that I backed the Kickstarter because the hexes really made it easy to follow.
Like that's how I felt.
That's something that intimidates me is the measuring. It's like, okay, well, if I'm off by it just ever so slightly, then I've screwed everything up. But with the hexes, there's no guesswork, and it's like, okay, I can do this. I just gotta follow the cards.
Hellboop says he played a demo of the Shovel Knight game, which is from Wander Miniatures or Wander Games.
Yeah, we had them on because they do the Panda games.
Panda Cult Games. Thank you, Panda Cult Games. They do the Wander board game, Cult of Barnacle Bay, and then Panda Cult. Yeah, then the Shovel Knight game, and they have another game that they're coming out with too. Or no, it's an expansion or a sequel to to Barnacle Bay, the new one. And he's telling me about the new characters in the new one. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because I talked to them and asked how they were doing. Because I mean, they are a small company, and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Pandemic was rough for us, but we made it
Mm-hmm.
through, and we're here." And I'm like, "Good. We want to see people do and get
Yeah,
stuff
it was
done."
good to see them. It was good to see them there. I'm glad they've been successful with, rolling out Shovel Knight and stuff. I can't wait to see their expansion or sequel. Anyways, that's going to be fun because Wander is a very fun game.
Yeah. The one thing that I noticed, and I had mentioned it, was there was a lot of game stores, a lot of mom and pop game stores this year, and not a lot of game companies. You know what
It's
I'm saying?
hard for game companies traveling overseas these days. And especially, well, when you're planning for stuff like this in this era, uh, it's difficult to make plans that far ahead for a lot of people.
Yeah. It was just there were more game stores than usual, and I was like, and I can understand why wouldn't you? Because you need to sell your product and get it
I
out.
was very happy to see. I'll tell you, I was very happy to see Games Plus there, and I got to chat with them, and they've and Grognard's was there, and I was
Mm-hmm.
happy to see them. And those are both local stores that I'm familiar with. Those are my friendly local game stores, even though they both are about an hour away from where I live. So I don't get to see them very often. So it was good to see them there, and nice to hear that they've weathered the pandemic successfully. Other small businesses, weren't as successful in that. So I was glad to see them.
Yeah, because there was what were some other ones? There,
Army Painter took real good care of me
yeah,
because that was the number one thing that I wanted from the exhibitor hall is the Army Painter speed paints,
Hmm.
and I got him, and I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, here's my money, take it, give me the
yeah.
paints.
She walked up and she says, "I'm here to pick my speed paints." And they were like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Mizzy." He goes, "Oh, well, here, take these. We have yours actually held away somewhere else,"
Oh, right on. Yeah.
which was nice. I mean, that just
Yes.
because she had messaged them saying she was wanting a set and they were going to hold us up for her.
Well, actually, it was Gonzo posted a status, and I posted that gif. Shut up and take my money, and
Uh-huh.
they did, and I'm like, thank you. This is the one thing that I planned for. Everything else is extra.
They had a good booth. Privateer Press was doing a good sales. Their P3 paint competition was done really well. Some really good entries on that. I
Golden
actually,
Demon was a thing that people were talking about, and
oh yeah,
I was very happy for the people who won Golden Demons. Well deserved. But I mean, it was a Golden Demon.
yeah.
Lots of pretty models. Uh, I
My
don't
boy
know.
Eric Swinson won a Golden Demon, an actual gold one.
He did.
His
Uh,
his model was amazing.
there are a lot of amazing models. The judges had their work cut out for them.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot going on, and there was still a lot of people there. Um, One thing that happened the power went out in one of the rooms I was playing in. I don't know if y'all had the power go
The
out in there.
power went out everywhere.
So it must have been the
Because,
whole entire building then.
yeah, I was upstairs hanging out with Lynn and a whole bunch of other people, and all of a sudden, just power gone.
Yeah. So we were playing Warcaster by phone light.
I didn't experience the power outage.
Yeah.
That may have been floor specific.
Yeah, because that happened. And it was kind of interesting because I was like, oh, well, we'll just... Because we were in the middle of the tournament, and of course the 40K and the Age of Sigmar tournament was going on.
That happened in the that happened in the tournament hall a few years ago.
Yeah.
Where the power went out in the dealer's room / in the convention center in the hall.
Yeah.
That the power went out and people were playing by their phone light until it came back on. Hale Boop says power flickered in the hallway where the concessions were and set off fire alarms.
Oh,
Jeez,
so yeah, it was a whole thing
happened?
then, because that was pretty much where I was. I was in that hall right next to the convention where the concessions were.
Yep.
So yeah, must have been the whole convention hall, which is understandable. They haven't had to do that in 2 years, so they probably weren't, it just kind of went there. Type thing.
It's the media section.
Is it already?
Oh,
it is already.
Hey.
Hold on, I'm going to get some more purple on this. What else? Anything? What was really cool about the whole thing was sitting in the hobby lounge and catching up with all these streamers and getting to see their faces and getting to be personable one-on-one with the streamers.
That was the best. That was the best thing, and that's the thing I was looking forward to most was meeting people in person who I only ever met online.
Yeah. There was, because I got to meet JJ and Pun Expected and
Holly Monster.
And just a ton of people. So it was really nice to, not put just names and faces because we've seen them, but physical, type
like
thing.
Actually interact with these people. Like, oh my God. They're just as cool in life that they are online.
And then of course your social media blows up when you get back as everybody starts looking at your accounts and starts following and stuff like that. Because like Monster
when you get notifications.
Yeah. Get all the notifications that people are following
Most is what you're not a hologram. Gonzo actually is.
Yeah.
Gonzo actually is a hologram.
If you saw me at the convention, that was actually Kathy walking around with the device.
Yeah, I had a projector that projected the Gonzo hologram the whole time. And if I didn't have it, Captain Mizzy had it. So that's how we keep it alive.
I don't think y'all could handle Gonzo's weirdness in real life.
I'd break some people.
I got to meet Bill Robertson and Hale Boop I had seen before, but we got to chat too. And Remius I met in person, and Brush for Hire I've known for quite some time already. Who else? Gel Tip. Gel Tip is the one I kept teasing him that he's not a real person, he's a bot. And he was like, I'm going to prove that you're wrong, so...
There was, what was it? I was standing in line to get my ticket, and this lady in front of me was saying how she's taking classes, and I was just, you know me. I'm like, oh, who you taking? And she's like, well, I'm really looking forward to taking this class with James Wapple, because, I've watched him on stream and everything. I'm like, oh, I know him. He's a really good friend, and his wife's on my podcast, and, she's like, Kathy? I'm like, yeah. She goes, are you Gonzo from More Than Dice? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I listen to y'all. And I'm like, no, you don't. She's like, yeah, I do. I'm like, no, the fuck you don't.
Shut up.
And it was just like, no, now I recognize you and everything. And I was like, whatever. And she's like, no, y'all are a lot of fun to listen to. And I'm like, cool, thanks. So I gave her, I had some dice and some other stuff that, to do to, if anybody recognizes or says that. And then, another one was I was playing Warcaster, and this guy was like, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, what am I going to get in trouble for?
Everything.
All bad things. What rumor did you hear now?
Yeah. And he was like, wait, you're Gonzo from More Than Dice. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, is John here? And I'm like, no, John wasn't able to make it. He goes, I've been listening to his 3 Gnomes and a Half Giant. I'm like, nah. And he's like, He's like, yeah, and he pulled up his phone and he was like on episode 3 or something
Oh,
in
I
the
think
middle
there's
of it.
only been like 4 episodes so
Yeah.
far.
So he was like, no, I was listening to it on the way up. Y'all are pretty fun
Well,
and pretty
that's
cool.
cool.
And I was like, that's pretty awesome. And I think I finally found out why we get so many views after the fact. Because I was talking to a few streamers, and like John's MechWarrior Online after the fact, people watch that after the fact because they can go back and like get through it. Because a lot of people, they're moderating other channels. And so they can't watch at the time, and so they'll watch after it's been posted up.
Huh.
JJ the official, he was one that was saying, I go
Oh,
back and watch
yeah.
John's MechWarrior Online after he's done streaming because I'm moderating other Twitch channels
Yeah, he
during that
mods
time.
like a ton of different Twitch
Oh,
channels.
yeah.
He mods for basically everyone in the network.
Yeah, tons and tons of people. So I thought that was neat. It was really cool to not only put names to faces, but actually be there with them and talk about stuff, type thing. So it was.
Hale Boop is right though. Stay out of Kathy's chairs if you aren't painting. the, the chairs are for painting. I mean, don't paint the chairs, but the chairs are for sitting in while you're painting. Not
Paint
sitting
all the
in
chairs.
while you're off eating lunch.
There was times I was like,
Stuff
"Oh,
out
Kathy's
there.
over there streaming." And that one, I'm going to sit in her chair and rest my feet. When she's done,
Yeah.
I'll move.
Yeah.
That was pretty much my extent of what I was going to do because there was a lot of movement. My feet were dead every day.
My feet were alive and kicking and feeling good. I had those new kicks and I love them. Best $40 I ever spent from a Facebook ad.
All right, let's swing. Ah.
Don't you dare paint the chairs, Bill Robertson. We are going to do that charity group painting thing like we did this year, again next year. Tony
that'll be a lot of
Maravola from You Got Me Monologuing put that together and contributed this model, and it was the Beastmaster on a stone horn thing from the Age of Sigmar, and a ton of us worked. I think he said 40. It was either 42 or 48 different painters worked on this model so that they could put it into the Adepticon charity raffle at the end. And he had a guest book that everybody who worked on it signed, so that the person who won the model also got that guest book too. It was
cool.
very cool. Yeah, and then he streamed the entire thing all weekend.
Yeah, I saw that sitting over there, and I was like, "Ooh, how's he streaming?" And I guess he got a landline in that area, so that was kind of cool. I had a blast. I think next year, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm gonna play in probably one tournament, whether it's a full day or 2 days or whatever. I'm going to play in one tournament, but I'm definitely going to set up a spot, and I'm going to be painting at Fort Wapple because there was so much energy and so much fun with all the other painters there. And I mean, even some people weren't even painting. They were like, put a little bit, yeah, and we started doing, and it was like 10 minutes of all socializing and having a good time. And I was like, this, and that was a lot of fun. And getting to meet people. I'm probably going to take a class. I'm probably going to teach a class because I had a lot of people asking me about 3D printing advice. And it was a ton of people asking me about 3D printing advice. And I was like, I could probably do a 3D printing 101 type thing. So I'm going to probably do that next year. Put on like one class and then do like maybe, I think I might play Conquest or maybe just some Warcaster stuff. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I'm definitely painting up my Warcaster now because these models are legit cool. So.
I think if Judgment has any games, then I might play that. But I'm definitely taking a couple more classes. Hopefully a green stuff class if they have it, because I know Erica took that and really enjoyed it, and I'm like, yes, I need that.
Yeah, that was a pretty good. She walked away with a set of sculpting tools out of that.
Yes.
That was the cool thing. She not only did she get to sculpt, the green stuff things. She's like, I probably won't use this stuff very much, but it was really cool. But I got a set of sculpting tools out of it, which I think is
Teza?
yeah,
She
Yeah.
was a fantastic class. Yeah.
yeah. And I was like,
So,
that would make me want to take the class. One, not only do you get to learn how to use green stuff better. Two, you get a set of sculpting tools out of it, which is legit.
Mm-hmm.
I think anytime you get a model or something out of the class is a big bonus to me. It makes me want to take the class more.
yeah.
And most
Well,
painters, most people, most teachers, you get something out of it. It's not just a talking, lecture class. So
yeah, well, it's like James's basing class. Like he gave us is like you can take everything except the sculpting tools. Those stay. Everything else is yours. And I'm like, okay, great. Don't know how I get this home, but we made it.
so of
Yeah,
course,
it's funny. It's funny. We brought some things on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we went to the convention center, the venue, because we knew that there would be people coming in on Tuesday, and we wanted to just hang out, have dinner, whatever, socialize before everybody gets busy. And so Jim brought a bunch of stuff to hand off to people who he knew, he was giving it to, and he wasn't going to have to haul it home again, so that we would theoretically have room in the car, because we wouldn't be hauling that stuff home, at the end. But then we ended up amassing all this stuff, like you do.
Like you do.
So so there was stacks of things. It was like I can't fit this in my car anymore. Jim was like after the last load of stuff, and I'm like, here we have a bunch of primer from Badger. I have this arm with boxes. He's like, uh, okay, so we need to you make room for that, because the primer is vital. That is a thing that we need.
you'll use that nonstop.
This is something we have been running precariously low on, and we're looking forward to Adepticon so that we could replenish our supply. So, no, Bill, I was driving. Jim had the lap, and it was full of stuff. Laps were being used for stuff. My lap was right next to the steering wheel, so I couldn't be putting stuff in that. Jim's lap and the whole area in front of him between his legs on the floor was full of stuff in the passenger seat. Every nook and cranny of the car was stuffed with things. Things were dumped out of swag bags so that we could shove them into tiny little areas. It was ridiculous.
So media section, Kathy, did you watch anything?
I watched stuff.
I watched stuff too. I actually binge watched something too.
I didn't have the energy to binge watch anything. No way to take that out of context.
There's always ways to take things out of context.
Oh no, there cannot possibly be any way to take that. You have a lap, Kathy, or everything was between Jim's legs. There's no way to take that out of context. I can't think of any way I would.
Oh,
I would possibly take that out of context.
I will say this: I was sexually assaulted quite often by Jim, but here's the thing: it was very much warranted.
Look, it's consent.
Consent.
There's consent
Exactly,
there.
Kathy.
I think it
Yeah.
was funny because Jim and I were standing there, and we were hugging, and he was like grabbing my leg and my butt and humping me, and people were looking at us like, "Y'all are." I'm like, "Okay, I'll hump him back so everybody knows it's okay." It was just fun. It was really great to see everybody. I'm just gotta go with this. It was. I don't care if it's all recorded or not.
Sounds so shameless, John. You should know this by now.
Yeah, John. John would like to remind everyone that this is recorded. This is what happens in real life stays in real life.
So, Kathy, do you want to give us a review of something?
Let's see. Well, I didn't watch anything new. Well, I watched an episode of Reacher today, and it was good, just as good as all the other episodes of it that I've watched so far. And I might watch at least another one or two tonight after this is over. But also yesterday, I watched a double feature. I'm just going to tell you all because we're almost done. I watched a double feature of Labyrinth and Legend yesterday. So it was like fantasy movies of the 1980s. You had David Bowie, you had Tim Curry. It was just this wild riot. There were goblins. There were silly goblins. There were silly dwarves. There were silly, there were serious goblins. There were, creepy things. It was awesome. It was the perfect double feature. If you're gonna do a double feature, I mean, those two movies, you would think if you're gonna watch Labyrinth, maybe you should pair that with like The Dark Crystal, which would also be amazing, right? But also pairing it with Legend, perfect, just perfect. Yeah. So it was that was my Saturday, and after I did that, I took a nap. And it was good. And neither of those movies gets any space herpes because they're both fantastic fantasy movies of the 1980s. In the best way. Not like Beastmaster, which earned the 3.5 stars, which I love, but oh my God, it's so cheesy. And then Sword and Sorcerer, which also gets 3.5 stars because also that is terrible but good at the same time. These get no space herpes at all. No space herpes. I said stars, didn't I? I meant space herpes. You know how it is. Mo says Beastmaster can do no wrong. Think of the ferrets.
What if you don't like ferrets?
That's fair. I don't judge.
Mizzy, you got anything you want to share this week?
So I started to catch up on Picard. Actually, I did catch up on Picard.
Same here.
Really enjoying it still. Really like it. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
I am not really into this season. I think it's the time travel that's really bothering me.
That's fair.
I don't care that they're in modern times. When I watch Star Trek, I want science fiction. I don't want time traveling into modern day. And I think I'm turned off by that. Yeah, I'll continue to watch it because I want to know the story.
In the original series, it worked okay, but it's kind of a worn out trope.
Yeah.
So I can't really talk about why I like this last episode, but I think you might be able to know why. It's how they tied everything together.
Yeah.
So that, like, maybe the time travel is overdone, but I'm still enjoying it.
That's all that matters.
I did catch up on something else, but if somebody else wants to go, that's fine too.
I watched the Halo series. Paramount Plus has the new Halo TV show, and they have 2 episodes, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm finding that Halo, I won't spoil, I'm just not finding that it's not that good. I'm also kind of turned off because someone gave episode 2 a bad review, and Paramount Plus had that review shut down and taken off the air.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's not cool.
John would like to discuss that episode.
Okay, well, I'll hold off on it. I'm not a fan of it right now. I'm going to continue to watch it because I love Halo, but right now I'm not too into it. Something I have been into, and I binge watched both seasons, was Lower Decks. Lower Decks is a cartoon Star Trek what talks about the, lower deck people that are like that actually keep the ship running. And it's actually pretty decent. Episodes are only like 30 minutes long. It is cartoon, and it pretty much it's Star Trek if like me, John, and Kathy were on the Enterprise.
Animated, not cartoons, John. Like, I make that same mistake too.
Yeah.
I do.
But the people on there are fuck ups. They're pretty much people that just, they're not the persona of what, Star Trek is supposed to be, or, what Federation is supposed to be, and they just break all the rules and do all the fun stuff. And like, hey, let's take the holodeck and make a movie with it. Well, yeah, that's what it is. First and second season were pretty decent. I hope they keep doing it because it's good and lighthearted. So you don't have to worry about anything, and it's just good turn your brain off.
I've got a friend who's been telling me that I need to watch it, and now I have to watch it. Great.
I'm in the same boat as Legionnaires. If it wasn't on Paramount Plus, I would. There's no maybe. I would have been watching it.
Yeah. So I mean, I've enjoyed it.
I would have been watching Discovery if it wasn't behind the paywall.
Yeah. So I mean, I give it like one space RP because of it just being there. But overall, it's been fun. I enjoy it. What else? Kathy, you got another one?
You've been watching, Izzy.
Do you got anything else?
No.
No.
I had to think about that.
I also started to catch up on Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max, and I fucking love this show.
I cannot get into it.
I don't care what you say. It's a damn good show, and I love it. And I was laughing my ass off last night. Like, I was cackling. It's just, I love this show. It's exactly what I need it to be. It's fun, it's lighthearted, but it's pirates, and yes, Legionnaires. Watch it. If you have HBO Max, give it a shot. Don't listen to Gonzo. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I've given it, and I'm at most of the episodes done, and I'm just like, it's not as funny as I thought it would be. And I'm just like, it's okay. I'm like, I got better things to watch.
Well, more for me.
What was something else? There was some things that I did watch that I didn't get to the last time. Give me 1 second. It was... Oh, I didn't know it was free with AT&T Fiber.
The more you know, guys. There you go.
I did try watching DMZ, which is on HBO Max. It is a TV series, limited TV series based off of I think it's Vertigo DC Comics, where the United States went into a civil war, and part of, I believe it's New York and New Jersey, is a DMZ. And it got like the comic...
A demilitarized zone. I'll back up in case there's somebody who doesn't know what a DMZ is.
And the comic, I guess, got really big reviews, and it was like really popular. But I just couldn't get into this. I'm watching it, and I'm like, I really don't care. I mean, there's a lot of romance in it, a lot of love and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, give me the DMZ stuff. There's like supposedly political drama, and it's like it's kind of it's boring and slow in my opinion. And I was kind of like, oh well, just take that and put it on the back burner and not worry about it. So didn't. I think I got through like 2 episodes, and I was just like, nah, done.
Legionnaire says you've been watching MXC because it's dumb.
It makes these funny and dumb though. That's the good thing about it. Um, let's see, what else did I watch? I did watch a movie called The Bubble, and it is a movie about people making a movie during the pandemic. And it's a tongue-in-cheek um, poke fun of actors and actresses trying to make a movie during the pandemic, um, and all the things that had to go along with it and stuff. It wasn't bad, but you can tell that it's kind of a spoof movie. They're all making fun of themselves. They know what they're doing. They're just giving each other shit and causing a bunch of other problems with it. It's on Netflix. It was okay. Like I said, I put it on because I needed, you know, time for myself when I was putting together tons of miniatures. I mean, tons of miniatures. Um, I know I watched some other stuff. I can't remember what it was, but I didn't write it down, so I totally forgot. I know that I'm looking forward to. There was a new series coming out pretty soon. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember. Oh, there's like a new series coming out, and I was like looking forward to it on HBO Max. So I'll have to wait and see and just go through it. Moon Knight came out on Disney Plus. That's right. That was the other thing I watched. I was definitely going to watch that as soon as I got home. Moon Knight came out on Disney Plus, and I'm digging it. It's pretty interesting. I don't know anything about Moon Knight, so I have no clue if they're following the story or not. Following the comic, I just liked it. And I thought it was a lot of fun. I can't wait for the next episode. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
John says he has seen episode 1 of Moon Knight.
I've enjoyed it. I thought it
So
was
perhaps
interesting.
next week you guys can talk about that.
Yeah, hopefully someone can come in and talk about it that's from the comics, because I have no clue.
What's it on?
Disney Plus.
Okay.
So we can deal with that. Mizzy, you got anything else?
I started to watch a show, but then I got distracted with other things. But it's called Kataro Lives Alone. It's on Netflix. It's I only got into like 3 episodes into it, but it's about this 4-year-old boy who is honestly freaking adorable. Obviously, cute factor is a thing. But he lives alone. He's 4 years old, and he talks like a feudal lord. And there's got to be some kind of tragic background because his parents are nowhere in sight. But like he talks like this feudal lord is obsessed with this one show, but then like it's cute, it's weird, and I have things to figure out about it before I can properly talk about it. But he's cute.
That sounds fun.
Obi-Wan should be coming out pretty soon. I definitely want to see that. Hopefully that's good.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
You mean
don't
Jesus?
know what other story needs to be told about him. I mean, we kind of covered a whole big span of his life, but
We'll see.
when he was a child, little Obi-Wan growing up,
Little
the tween
Obi-Wan.
years.
Well, guys, that is our podcast for the night. That was our Adepticon recap. Make sure to join us next Sunday, as we will definitely be doing another show. And John will be doing his MechWarrior Online. I will probably jump on Wednesday to work on some models. Kathy, what are you doing next week? Or this week, I should say, since it is Sunday.
Monday we have Monday night. V and I have a date to play Valheim.
Nice.
Ooh,
So we're just gonna
fun.
do that Monday night and just like chill. And then Tuesday is Two Stream Tuesday, where I'm doing my normal stream at 3 p.m. Central, like I do every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But then Tuesday night I do another stream, which is a more serious sort of painting stream. On the Gen Con TV Twitch channel, and that's at 7 p.m. Central. And so this will be my 4th one I'm doing on Gen Con TV, and that's been a lot of fun. I always look forward to that. It's a little bit of a different atmosphere because I'm trying to really, talk more about my process and do more painting and kind of be a little more teachy, about it. A little less distracting and a little more teaching. So that's my Tuesday night stream every Tuesday night, at least until Gen Con, and then we'll see how I feel about it. If I still want to keep doing it after that. So, but that's my week: streaming, playing D&D on Wednesday night with friends. Yeah. Unlike last week where I had D&D Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I only have one day of D&D.
Oh, the D&D.
So I will have time to watch some shows in the evening a little bit. Hopefully. Maybe.
Guys, we are going to send y'all off to Vlager Dragon. She's over there playing some Undertale, so we'll let you see that while we're doing it over. But guys, please make sure you wash your hands. Please take care of yourself. Please look after each other and give hugs when you can. From More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm John. No, John's John. I'm Kathy. And this is
Captain Mizzy.
Good night.
Good night. I would like to report that I remain healthy.
I am healthy
Adepticon.
too. No
I remain
COVID?
healthy.
Also healthy.
Same here.
Hooray!